Every year, according to the WHO, 703,000 suicide occurs throughout the lifespan and was the fourth leading cause of death among 15 to 29-year-olds globally in 2019. I wonder, why do people want to take their own lives? So many reasons to it, but I found out a universal answer to this. It's simply a lack of inspiration. Whatever you lose your inspiration on, there's every tendency that you'd lose such thing, and life is no exceptional. When there is a lack of inspiration in life, it gives birth to the thoughts of suicide, and once conceived the results are devastating, so it implies we ought to live our lives full of inspiration, and I've got the right material for you that would inspire you 24/7. It's called the 365 Nuggets of Inspiration, designed to helping you make every day your best, to inspire you every day so there would be no thought of suicide. Its lessons are deep and it's free. Let your life be filled with inspiration so you can inspire other people. Do well to download this material today by clicking on the link below, and you could also follow our review on YouTube, where we throw more lights on the subjects for each day. It's possible to make every day your best, and one sure way for this is simply to download this material today.
I'm going to tell you a story of a young man who came from a very remote village. Very poor, the father was poor, the mother was poor. And amongst all of his siblings, they decided to send him to school to get higher education. So in all of this, they forfeited the education of other people, all of his siblings, and they sent this young man to school. So he went to school, high hopes, high expectation, and he struggled. He was trying academically because he knew actually where he was coming from. Nobody was going to tell him, we all depended on you, but he knew everybody was dependent on him. So he took his academics very serious, down to the first year, the second year, the third year, and it was towards his year of graduation. And here he was with his final project. He did the first trial and he went to the supervisor. It was rejected. He did the second one. It was actually rejected, and this actually made him have an extra year in school. So he stayed an extra year. While his mates were graduating, he couldn't graduate because he hasn't finished his project yet. So the next year he tried and he failed. Not actually that he was failing, but the supervisor was actually failing this young man. And he tried for 3 long years and he couldn't succeed. So on the 4th year, the parents were so angry with him. Everybody was just like, are you sure you're actually in school? What's going on? Talk to us, tell us. So he was just full of so much pressure. And then he went one day, he went to see his supervisor and he showed him this project, and lo and behold, the supervisor just squeezed everything and threw it away in the trash can. This young man looked at himself. He wondered what has become of him, and he went to his room. He couldn't think of a better thing to do. All he could think about was taking his own life, and he looked at the rope and he hung it somewhere and he put his neck and he jumped. That was how he died. Like, how many people in our world today still kill themselves? So many, and it's among these young people taking their own life intentionally. It caught my attention really good, and I checked what could be the cause of suicide. What could be the cause of suicide? Then I started my research. People were telling me pressure. People were telling me poverty. People were telling me all sorts of things. But I was looking for a universal answer. That was when I did my search. And lo and behold, I found the universal answer to suicide. It's a lack of inspiration. That's simply the universal answer to suicide. You know, when there's a lack of inspiration of anything, it gives birth to a thought of suicide and the actions, you know. Look at our world today. So many people are looking for inspiration. So many people are looking for inspiration. As a father, how are you inspiring your children? As a teacher, how are you inspiring your students? As a priest, how you inspire your congregation? As an individual, how you inspire yourself and your friends? You see, by the time you ask all these questions, you will discover that we live in a world where we lack inspiration. The amount of inspiration actually we are getting to the number of people in the world, the ratio is actually low. And I've discovered in this world we just have basically 3 kinds of people. We have those who can inspire themselves. We also have those who can allow others to inspire them, and we have the last set of individuals that nobody and no one could inspire them. The results are seen because every year people are taking their lives, and You can't just help it. It just keeps going over and over and over again. Just because there's a lack of inspiration. So it matters. Every day, you ought to be inspired. Where to get your inspiration from? How to get inspired? That's why I always refer people to the 365. It's a material that can help you each day. It can inspire you. It doesn't matter how small it looks. It doesn't matter. Just take the messages, take the lessons, and let them inspire you. And you'll be amazed what you become of yourself. Let me show you actually how this material can inspire you. I'll just take a little article. 090 Be Yourself. Very straight to the point. Song written by Whitney Houston, greatest love of all. She said, everybody's searching for a hero. People need someone to look up to. I've never found anybody who fulfilled my needs. A lonely place to be, so I learned to depend on me. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadow. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I've lived as I believe. No matter what you take from me, they can't take away my dignity. Touching words from such a great singer. Many are still hiding in the shadow of others, trying so hard to become really who they aren't, just like living a fake life. Terrible, I must tell you, there's so much freedom when you're yourself. Rather than trying to be like others, it will only end in pain and frustration. It's no good thing at all. Be yourself. Become that hero. Don't look for no hero outside. You're that hero. Come out of your hiding place in the shadow of others and become yourself. This is just a short article from the 365. You can draw inspiration from it. Like I said, there are those who can inspire themselves, others allow others to inspire them, and those definitely you can just inspire. Which category of person are you? Imagine a world filled with people who are inspired. An individual can inspire 10 persons, an individual can inspire 1,000 persons, an individual can inspire 1,000,000 persons. You see, when you check all this, the rate of suicide will actually drop. We don't have more young people taking their lives. We wouldn't. It's seen everywhere. This is very important. Wherever you lack inspiration about a thing, it always produces a thought of suicide. If you lack inspiration in your marriage, the thought that will come to you will be divorce. If you lack inspiration in your academics, the thought that will come to you is to quit. There's nothing you lack inspiration that a negative thought wouldn't come to you. And mind you, these inspirations come in two different ways. They can come in the positive and they can come in the negative. You should never live your life void of inspiration. A word full of inspiration is a word void of suicide. In case maybe you have somebody struggling through life today, don't just leave the person behind. Just know, such individual is actually battling with inspiration. You know, the 365 is channeled on making every day your best. I want you, in the quest of making every day your best, to be an inspiration to someone. Who knows, you might be saving such an individual from suicide.